One of the things people search for most on the internet is fame, and some of them are willing to do anything to achieve it, even if that means deceiving people. Many fake videos on the internet have already been exposed, some even involving crimes. For example, a mother who pretended her own child had been kidnapped to gain notoriety on Instagram, or a girl who faked having a neurological illness to raise donations. These are the kinds of situations you are going to see here today. In recent times, a specific style of video, where two people appear making primitive constructions without the use of building materials or modern tools, using only items from nature, has been gaining notoriety. After all, in just a few days, the men managed to put up impressive constructions using mud, bamboo, leaves, clay, vines, and other natural resources. It all started with the channel Primitive Technology, where John Plant, the owner of the channel, began making videos showing the step-by-step to build things in a completely primitive way. John's constructions were plausible to be done, and he showed the entire building process, reporting that he needed 30 days to complete some of them. From there, other channels were created with the same idea. However, the constructions made by these new channels are grand, containing even natural pools, and they give the impression that they were completed in a few days. Although they also draw attention, the videos began to generate suspicion, with many people believing it to be a hoax. Analyzing the videos closely, the conclusion that many people and specialists in editing and construction reached is that yes, it is a hoax. The videos are full of cuts, and in each of these cuts, the construction stages seem to advance quickly. In other words, they do not show the complete process, only the resultant cuts, which makes it clear that they use tools, a larger number of professionals, machines, etc. In addition, the owner of a channel who bought land in an isolated forest region in India managed to find the place where these videos were produced. Using a drone, he filmed the production process of just one of the videos and revealed that heavy machinery and dozens of people are used. After filming, they abandon the structure and leave the place polluted, harming the surrounding forest. In 2020, the YouTuber Jason Ethier, known as JStation, published a video in which he claimed that his girlfriend, Alexia Morano, had been run over by a drunk driver and had died. In the video, he appears in tears. In another post, Jason shares the moment when he simulates the last goodbye to his girlfriend in front of an altar set up at the place where she supposedly would have been run over. He also made a video using an Ouija board, trying to contact his girlfriend. The videos generated immense repercussion and commotion, but some people began to doubt the truth of the situation, since there was no news or information about such a hit and run in the region. It did not take long for the rumor that everything could be a hoax to gain strength. Seeing this, Jason decided to speak out and revealed in a video that he had forged the death of his supposed girlfriend to attract an audience and, consequently, gain more followers on his comedy channel. JStation deleted all the videos, confessed that the death did not happen, and even stated that Alexia helped him produce the fake story. He also commented that at the moment of the idea and the publication, he did not imagine it could be something as serious as it was, since his intention was only to gain popularity. Of course, it would have been better to think of a more honest way to gain that popularity. The João Kleber show marked an era on Brazilian TV, largely because of its pranks, which were generally very well elaborated and generated many laughs from viewers. However, I'm sorry to inform you, or even to spoil your experience, yes, everything was in fact staged. In a video made by a person who was passing by bus near a prank filming location, it is possible to see the set assembled, with a production crew around and several people nearby, watching the scene. At the time of the broadcast on TV, it looks like everything is really happening, with hidden cameras, and that the people who participate are random, just passing by the place at that moment. But in fact, all the people involved are hired and everything is arranged. It is not possible to state that all the pranks done by the show were staged and recorded this way, but this one, and certainly many others were. According to some information, this practice began to be adopted because the actors who participated in the pranks were becoming known to the public, which made them quickly recognized, preventing the prank from working. A family that has a YouTube channel known as the Ace Family grew quickly on the platform by posting family content, showing daily life and some events in family life. However, with this growth also came some controversies related to the authenticity of the content shared. In a specific event, this questioning intensified, generating immense repercussion. In a published video, the father of the family, Austin McBroom, appears inside the house surrounded by supposed police officers, stating that the residence had been invaded by criminals. He even shows a broken window, window through which the criminals would have entered. Up to that point, everything seems normal, but some details in the video began to attract attention. Austin appears to be too calm and happy for someone who has just had his house invaded. In addition, the police officers in the video also act strangely. One of them even waves at the camera when he realizes Austin is recording, something totally out of the expected behavior in such a serious situation. The suspicions and evidence raised in the video led some people to investigate the situation. It was discovered that the police officer who waved at the camera was, in fact, an actor who could be hired to act as a fake police officer. He worked for a casting agency, and a person pretending to be the financial agent of the Ace Family channel contacted this agency and obtained a statement that proved that Austin had paid for the hiring of the actors. Even with all the evidence on video and even physical proof that the entire invasion was staged with the aim of gaining even more popularity and views, the family denies the accusations and declares themselves innocent. A woman known as Ju Tourette, who supposedly has Tourette syndrome, began posting on her social networks content in which she showed her followers what it was like to live with the syndrome, displaying her tics, which appeared even during meals. It did not take long for her to draw attention on the internet, but she also aroused suspicion in many people. Some influencers began sharing Ju's videos, pointing out evidence that she might be lying about the condition just to gain notoriety and views. With the negative repercussion, Ju quickly deleted most of her content and disappeared from the internet, further increasing the suspicion of a possible hoax. It is worth noting that there is no medical report or official proof that she was really pretending to have the condition or exaggerating to draw attention. However, the fact that she disappeared soon after these suspicions began to arise is quite strange and generated even more distrust among those who followed her. Mr. Beast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, is a very popular American content creator on YouTube. With his challenge videos worth money and for always financially helping people, he saw his channel explode in subscriber numbers, becoming the largest channel in the world with more than 300 million subscribers. However, with all this prominence and the large investment, controversies were not left out. In one of his videos, Mr. Beast created a kind of bank to distribute money for free to people, and that is when some attentive internet users noticed something suspicious. The money shown in the video seemed to contain evidence of being fake set-prop bills. The hypothesis quickly arose that Mr. Beast was a fraud, and that, in fact, he did not help anyone financially, doing that only to gain views and line his own pockets. However, in the face of the negative repercussion, Jimmy came public to explain the reason for the fake bills. He stated that since it was a huge amount of money, it would be very dangerous for people to leave the place carrying all of that, and that the bills were only to illustrate the moment. The real money was delivered to each person through a check behind the scenes. Katie Sorensen, a digital influencer who talks about motherhood on social networks, gained immense notoriety in December of 2020 by publicly claiming that her children had been the victims of an attempted kidnapping. It all began when Katie went with her 2 children to an arts and crafts store in the city of Petaluma, California, United States. She bought some items, returned to the car, and left. Minutes later, she called the police and alleged that while she was in the store, a couple tried to kidnap the children. About a week later, Katie began sharing the story publicly. Initially, she posted videos on Instagram and later gave an interview to a TV channel where she claimed that the couple followed her inside the store with the man staring at her in the parking lot. According to Katie, the man was on the phone and she claimed to have heard him describing the physical characteristics of her children. She also stated that the couple stood behind her in the checkout line, even without buying anything, and that outside the store, the man would have reached out in an attempt to grab the stroller where her son was. At that moment, Katie said she screamed, making the couple flee. After Katie's public statements, the police questioned her again, and during a more detailed investigation, with analysis of security camera footage and by observing inconsistencies in her account, investigators concluded that her story was false, since the evidence contradicted what she had described. In April of 2021, Katie was charged with falsely reporting a crime to government authorities. During the trial, prosecutors accused her of lying to the police to increase her notoriety as an influencer. Katie denied the charge, claiming that she had misinterpreted what happened in the store and in the parking lot. She was sentenced to 90 days in jail, in addition to 12 months of probation for the crime. In 2022, the influencer VinTube, a Brazilian content creator, generated controversy after posting videos on her social networks advertising a betting house. In the videos, she appeared playing on the app of the betting house and winning money. But due to an editing mistake, it became evident that the post was not a live play, as she claimed, but rather something previously recorded. The video was quickly shared by her followers and gained major repercussion. Many accused her of deception and fraud since, in the video, she always appeared winning and inducing her followers to play, suggesting that they could also win. In the face of the negative repercussion, the influencer decided to speak out, explaining that, upon receiving the briefing from the betting house, they need to disclose the entire game process in 3 Instagram story videos: the beginning, the middle, and the end of the game. However, as the content is extensive, it does not fit in only 3 stories, which led her to play, record the screen, and edit it to fit the limited time of the posts. Despite the explanations, many followers and internet users continue to believe that it was nothing but a hoax, suggesting that VinTube merely forgot to edit the video correctly, making it evident that the content would be manipulated. The Brazilian Lais, Basilio, 23 years old, mobilized the public by reporting her supposed battle against a bone marrow cancer. Living in Ireland, she organized an online fundraiser to receive financial help for the treatment of the disease. After more than a year raising money, during which she received about 6,000 euros and various donations, Lais admitted that she was not sick and asked her followers for forgiveness.
Gostaria muito de pedir perdão, verdadeiramente falando, a todo mundo, toda a comunidade brasileira, toda a comunidade oncológica. Eu sei que isso recai totalmente sobre você.
Through a video posted on Instagram, Lais confessed to having invented the whole story, which began to be shared on social networks in December of 2023. In the video, she asks forgiveness from the Brazilian community and from the oncology community, especially from those who are truly fighting the disease she pretended to have. The young woman even gave interviews on podcasts and to the press, where she reported details of the fake illness. After the revelation, the confession generated immense outrage among internet users who followed her and mobilized to help her. To make matters worse, the police stated that, since the donations were made voluntarily, the case could not be registered as fraud. Don't forget to subscribe so you can watch more videos like this.